Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So, I am coming to you today very grateful and very humble, okay, first and foremost. Um, Sunday, I received a very unpleasant phone call in reference to my son, and I was told that he had got shot 4 times in his back. The lady on the phone continued to keep me on the phone, and she let me talk to my son. It's very important when if there is a gunshot victim to not move him. Do not move gunshot victims to turn them over or anything. That is what the people that are trained to do can do, because it may, I don't know what it does, but it could possibly do something to harm them even more than what they are. So I proceeded to let them know, don't turn him over. Um, I couldn't find where I was going. I couldn't use my GPS. Very distraught, and I was completely not myself. But I wasn't in my mind, in my right mind. I was told where, about the time I got to where I thought he may have been the right direction, I was told that the ambulance had picked him up and took him to the hospital. That I was right there. I was speeding, going very fast, and I saw a police officer, and I asked him, "Can you please escort me? My son just got shot, and I don't want to get a ticket." So the police officer proceeded to tell me to go ahead and proceed to my son, just don't speed. Needless to say, I'm speeding. So he had a choice: keep it moving or come get me. So I kept going. He kept going. I made it to the hospital before he did. When he got there, I saw him pull him in. He was still breathing, still looking very alert, just probably in a lot of pain. The hospital they took him to was a trauma center. Thank God. They worked with my son, assessed his wounds, and they proceeded to work on him. I don't think that they had to resuscitate him at all, because the bullets did not reach any vital organs or anything. So I'm so grateful. He has full control over his body. Um, During the process of him getting together, I stayed in the hospital as much as I could. And his family came up to support, even though they weren't able to go in and see him. And me and his father was on the visiting list, and I switched his father out for my mother, because he can only have 2 people. And according to the policy for the hospital he was in, because he was a gunshot victim and a person was not apprehended, it was recommended just 2 people, period. And they only allowed us to switch out one. So when my mother was switched out, she was able to relieve me so I can go to work and do my job. And I spent every night at the hospital with my son. And we began to bond, and we began to get to know each other, and we got to talk about some things. He believes that we don't get along because we're too much alike. I'm not sure if I believe that, but I'll go with it. The most important thing is I was able to hold my son's hand and talk to him and be with him during the worst experience of his life. I'm sure. My son has been through hell. He's 23 years old. He's spent 5 years, almost 6 years in prison. Um, and for him to get shot, um, it just added to a lot of the pain that he's endured. Now, everybody asks me, because he's been in prison, like, what was he in? Um, when he came home. My son is really not a bad person. He's not really into anything. He was on his way to go see a female, And a lot of people say that she may have set him up or whatever. I'm not sure. But I do know karma is a bitch, especially when it comes from the wrath of God. So I'm going to leave that at that. I'm not going to try to revenge on anybody because my God is powerful and I've seen what he can do. So currently, as you can see, I'm at home. His father was able to um, get in to see his son and spend time with him. So I'm allowing them father and son time because they really do need that time to get to know each other and and talk. And you know, it's very important. Men, y'all don't realize y'all have such a huge impact on these males out here, whether they're your biological kid or somebody else's kid. Boys look up to their older men. They look up to you for direction, for advice, and it's your responsibility to mentor them the best that you can, to steer them away from things that could harm them or hurt them. So that's my story. Um, my son got pneumonia within the last few days of being in the hospital. But you know what? It's leaving his body. Only thing I've asked for people on my social media page is for prayers. People ask me all the time, what do I want? What do we need? I don't need nothing but prayers. God can do everything else. And I am grateful that the hospital is reviewing his case to release him to come home. So with that being said, please love on your kids, love on your family, focus on the bigger picture and not that petty stuff. You know, life is so short and you never know what's going to happen or when it's going to happen. I love y'all. Please be safe and take care.